Today's lesson is called A Retrieved Reformation. Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff.
And my name is Roger. And this month, we've got a short story that we're going to summarize for you. It's an old story. It comes from the year 1903, and it's by the American author O. Henry, and it's called A Retrieved Reformation. This story was so good that they made it into a couple of movies and into a radio drama, and maybe you can find this on the internet as well. So let's get to it. Let's listen to the first part of our lesson, and then we'll talk about it.
A Retrieved Reformation. Jimmy Valentine, master safecracker, had spent months in prison and was now finally able to walk free. He had been locked up for breaking into safes and stealing the contents. Now, with new clothes on his back and a few dollars in his pocket, he was ready to step out into freedom. As he exited the prison building, the officer reminded him to stay out of trouble.
大家好，标题中我们看到单字 Reformation 这个字是名词，指改过自新、改革、革新。例如 Luna is very thankful for her journey of reformation. Luna 非常感恩她改过自新的旅程。或是 The school is undergoing several major reformations. 这间学校正在经历几个重大革新。接下来我们看到名词 Safecracker 指保险箱窃贼。例如Last night, we witnessed a safecracker sneak out of a hotel room. 昨晚我们目睹一名保险箱窃贼从一间饭店房间偷溜出来。再来，我们看到片语 lock somebody up， 表示将某人关起来。举例来说 Authorities locked several individuals up for looting after the storm. 当局将几个暴风雨过后趁机抢劫的人关进监狱。另外，补充一个同义片语 put somebody away。我们可以说The man was put away for stealing cars. 那名男子因偷车而被关进监狱。
Okay, so from the first part of our lesson, we can tell that the main character in our story is a safecracker, or at least a former one. He spent some time in prison, but was released, but I guess he's probably going to go back to his safe-cracking ways. So yes, indeed, Jimmy Valentine is a master safecracker, and he had spent months in prison and was now finally able to walk free. So remember, if you spend some time in prison, we all hope that you will be reformed. You will change your evil ways, and you will become an outstanding member of society.
So there you go. I was puzzled by this before. A retrieved reformation. This guy, Jimmy Valentine, he went to prison, and he tried to reform himself. Now, was his heart totally in it? Turns out it wasn't. Anyways, Jimmy Valentine, it says here, is a master safecracker, i.e., he's not just good at it, he is an expert at it. He is a master safecracker. I don't know if there's a grandmaster class safecracker or anything like that, but if you're a master safecracker, you're pretty good at cracking safe.
A safe is a steel box usually that you keep things inside for protection. You might put money in there or jewelry or important documents and stuff like that. So a safecracker is somebody who knows how to open a safe in order to steal what's inside of it. The word cracker means somebody that can break into something. Remember, during the World Wars, we had people working in the military that were code crackers. They tried to understand what the enemy was saying in their radio messages, a code cracker. But in this particular case, we're talking about a safecracker. So that's what Jimmy Valentine was. or maybe he still is. He was caught at one point and spent months in prison, but could now walk free. If you walk free, that means you've been released from prison. This can be a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe there's a suspect in a murder case, but the lawyer was really sharp and really smart, so that person was able to walk free, and the victim's family were very angry about that.
Anyways, though, if you still want to know what a safecracker is, read the next sentence. It says he, Jimmy Valentine, had been locked up for breaking into safes and stealing the contents. Yes, if you're a safecracker, that's exactly what you do. Anyways, if you are locked up, you are in prison. You are in jail, okay? You're guilty of some crime, so they send you to jail, they send you to prison, and you have to stay there behind locked doors, behind bars there in jail. That's what it means to be locked up. Further, when we're talking about the contents of something, we're talking about what is inside of that thing. So if you're stealing the contents of a safe, you're stealing what is inside of that safe.
Right, the contents, what's inside of something. For example, I could say, he drank the contents of the bottle not knowing it was poison. That might happen in a Shakespeare play or something like that. Now, with new clothes on his back and a few dollars in his pocket, he was ready to step out into freedom. So he's ready to turn over a new leaf. He's ready to begin a new life. He's got a new set of clothes on his back, and he's got some money in his pocket. He's got a few dollars in his pocket to spend. So he's ready to step out into freedom. Hopefully, he has reformed. He will not be a prisoner again. He will not be a criminal again, and he'll figure out another way to make a living.
We'll find out more about that later. Anyways, though, the next sentence says, as he exited the prison building, the officer reminded him to stay out of trouble. Yeah, Jimmy, I don't want to see you here again. You stay out of trouble. We don't want to lock you up again. We want you to be a really reformed guy there, Jimmy Valentine. Anyways, yes, here the officer is reminding him. If you remind someone, you're telling someone to remember something. Yes, don't forget this. Don't ever forget this. Remember this for the rest of your life. That's what the officer is doing this right now. He is reminding Jimmy to stay out of trouble and to stay out of jail.
Yeah, for example, sometimes somebody might say something and that will remind you of something. Oh, that reminds me I have to go to the pharmacy to pick up my medications. So, yes, indeed, the officer reminded him to stay out of trouble and stay on the straight and narrow. Don't be a criminal again. Okay, let's move on now to the next paragraph. We'll listen to it first.
However, Jimmy had no intention of giving up his life of crime. He returned to his apartment and took out a suitcase that contained all of his safe-cracking tools. He looked lovingly at the tools, closed the suitcase, and went to the cafe downstairs. Do you have anything planned? The cafe owner asked, seeing the suitcase and knowing full well what Jimmy's occupation was. Me? Jimmy replied, innocently. He ignored the cafe owner's suggestion and departed with his suitcase.
第二部分我们看到名词 suggestion 指暗示、建议，例如 Henry was fooled by the woman's ambiguous suggestion. Henry 被那个女人含糊不清的暗示给耍了。或是 Do you have any suggestions about how to carry the TV? 关于要怎么搬这台电视，你有任何建议吗？另外，这个字去掉字尾 ion 就成了动词 suggest 指建议、提议、暗示，意味着像是 Barbara suggested a swim after lunch, but I felt too sleepy. Barbara 提议午餐之后去游泳，可是我觉得太困了。或是 The way he walks suggests a very confident man. 他走路的样子意味着他是很有自信的人。接着我们看到单字 depart 这个字是动词，指出发、离开。我们可以说 The boat departs at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. 那艘船明天早上7点钟出发。或是 The party guests departed just after midnight. 宴会宾客在午夜一过就离开了。另外补充一个相关片语 depart from 表示背离、违背……举例来说 Ken's recent ideas about the company departed from what he used to think. Ken 最近对公司的想法颠覆了他以前的思维。
All right, here's the question. Is Jimmy Valentine actually a new man? Has he reformed himself? No. Yes, even as he's leaving the jail and as the officer there is reminding him to stay out of trouble, Jimmy is already thinking about his next scam. Yes, however, it says Jimmy had no intention of giving up his life of crime, i.e., he was definitely going back to safecracking. He was not going to give up his life of crime. He's staying a criminal. He has not been reformed at all. He has no intention of giving up his life of crime.
Indeed, had no intention. This is in the past here. He was not going to give up his life of crime. It pays too well for him. A lot of times we hear the phrase, crime doesn't pay, but Jimmy Valentine did not believe that. He thought crime does pay, and I'm going back to my old wicked ways.
Yeah, he didn't even consider giving up his life of crime. He's not reformed at all.
Not at all. So he returned to his apartment and took out a suitcase that contained all of his safecracking tools. Sometimes when you travel, you bring along a suitcase with you. It's hard and you can put suits inside of that. If you're a businessman, you might carry around a briefcase that's much smaller. But if you're traveling on a train or on a plane, then you'll probably bring a suitcase. And in this particular suitcase, it contained all of his safecracking tools. If you're going to be a safecracker, if you're going to break into safes, you probably need a set of tools, special implements that help you do your job.
Now, he looked lovingly at the tools, closed the suitcase, and went to the cafe downstairs. Maybe he's still thinking about those lovely tools that he's going to use to crack a safe at some point in the future. Anyways, do you have anything planned? The cafe owner asked, seeing the suitcase and knowing full well what Jimmy's occupation was. So there you go. The cafe owner already knows Jimmy, knows that he's a safecracker, and he sees the suitcase. He knows, hey, that's the suitcase with all those beautiful safe-cracking tools. Yeah, I know what that's all about. So, hey, Jimmy, do you have anything planned?
Yeah, the cafe owner knew that Jimmy was going to do something bad. He totally knew it. He 100% knew it. So we say he knew full well, or he was knowing full well what Jimmy's occupation was. There was no doubt in his mind. Occupation, of course, is what you do for a living. What's your occupation? Well, I'm a taxi driver, for example. But Jimmy said, me? He replied innocently, as if, yeah, right, I don't do that sort of thing. If you're innocent, that means you're not guilty of a crime, and this is an adverb here. He replied innocently. Who, me? I would never do anything like that.
Then he ignored the cafe owner's suggestion and departed with his suitcase. By the way, a suggestion is kind of like a recommendation, and if you depart, you leave.
Right, thank you for your suggestion. And he left, he departed with his suitcase, and we'll find out what he was up to in just a couple of seconds. Let's move on now to the third part of our lesson.
Over the following months, a series of robberies took place across the region. Safes were broken into and the treasures within stolen. Ben Price, a police officer who knew how Jimmy worked, recognized a pattern. Jim Valentine has been here, he said to himself, and vowed to put him away for good.
最后第三部分，我们看到动词 vow 指发誓、立誓，之后可接 to 加原形动词或 that 子句，表示发誓点点点。例如 When Felix married Maria, he vowed to be there for her in sickness and in health. 当 Felix 娶 Maria 时，他发誓无论疾病或健康都会陪在他身边。
Okay, has Jimmy Valentine given up his life of crime? Is he going to stop cracking safes? No way. Now get this, over the following months, a series of robberies took place across the region. Safes were broken into and the treasures within stolen. So, Master safecracker Jimmy Valentine is released from jail, and then over the next few months, a series of robberies take place where safes are broken into. I wonder if Jimmy Valentine has anything to do with these robberies.
Sounds like it would be a reasonable guess. A robbery, of course, is when somebody robs somebody else, especially if they break into some kind of store and steal things. There was a robbery at the gas station, for example, we could say, or there was a bank robbery. You get the idea. And safes were again broken into, and the treasures inside were stolen. He stole the contents, or at least somebody stole the contents of those safes. Now we have a police officer by the name of Ben Price. He knew how Jimmy worked, and he recognized a pattern. So this police officer heard about these robberies and he thought, this sounds like the work of Jimmy Valentine. I'm going to investigate these robberies.
Yeah, Jim Valentine has been here, he said to himself, and vowed to put him away for good. This is what Ben Price said to himself. Now, if you vow to do something, you take an oath to do that, okay? You make that your job, your responsibility. Yes, if you vow to do something, you're promising to do that thing, and you're being serious and solemn about it. Now, Ben Price here, he just doesn't want to arrest Jimmy Valentine. He wants to arrest Jimmy Valentine, put him in jail, and then put him away for good, i.e., he wants to put Jim or Jimmy Valentine behind bars for the rest of his life.
Yep, we've got this verb phrase, to put someone or something away. This is a two-word verb phrase that can be separated. You could say put away something or put something away. For example, if kids play with their toys, you need to tell them, hey, put your toys away before you go outside to play. But in this particular sense, to put someone away means to send them to jail. And in this case, he wants to put him away, send him to jail for good, not for the good of humanity. Well, yes, maybe for the good of humanity, but in this particular sense, for good means forever. For example, the Vietnamese restaurant in my neighborhood has closed for good. It will never open again. They're out of business.
What a shame. Anyways, folks, with that, it is now time for us to say bye-bye, but don't worry, don't fret. The Chinese teacher is on her way.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文一开始提到保险箱大盗因为敲开保险箱偷走里面物品而被关起来，那入狱几个月之后现在重获自由了。好，我们文中是用到 break into 这个偏语动词呢，用来讲犯罪的时候通常就是指闯入、侵入来进行偷窃，那它是及物用法，后面要接受词。例如 Someone tried to break into their house while they were away， 有人趁他们外出的时候试图闯入他们家。好，另外也可以用 break in 来表达非法入侵的意思，那不过 break in 是不及物用法，所以像刚刚的例句我们就要把它改成 Someone tried to break in while they were away。 好，那这边顺便补充片语 break into 的其他用法哦。第一个是表达说突然开始怎么样，突然什么什么起来，那么后面通常会接名词，像 break into tears 突然哭了起来， break into laughter 突然笑了起来， break into applause 突然开始鼓掌等等。例如 Her face broke into a smile， 她脸上突然露出微笑了。那其实我们也可以用 burst into 来表达相同语义，像是 burst into tears, burst into laughter 突然笑、突然哭等等。好，第二种用法呢，是指说开始加入或者是从事某个活动，就类似中文说的成功打进什么，成功闯进什么，像是 break into Hollywood 打进好莱坞， break into the market 打进市场等等。例如 Her dream was to break into show business， 她的梦想是要闯进演艺圈。课文最后一句写到警官 Ben Price 他发誓要把 Jimmy Valentine 这个保险箱大盗永远关入大牢。那文中用到片语动词 put away， put somebody away 或者是 put away somebody， 就表示把某人关入大牢，把某人送进监狱。 那其实 put away 还有很多其他意思，以下介绍几种常见的用法。第一种呢，是用 put away 来表达收拾好，它带有收拾整齐、放回原位的语义。像爸妈可能会对孩子说 put your toys away， 把你的玩具收起来。第二个呢，我们可以用 put away 来表达把什么存起来，像 put money away 就表示存钱。那第三个用法呢，我们在口语中 put away 它有吃的意思，通常是指吃大量的食物。同学们可以想啊，眼前一大堆食物，是不是很想把它通通收进肚子里，把它收好收满？这样子也许就可以让你记得 put away 有吃的意思。比如 Bob can put away a whole pizza by himself。Bob 可以一个人吃掉一整个披萨哦。好，那么以上今天重点整理，我们回顾今天的单字吧。
Contents. We were all curious about the contents of the locked chest. Remind. My brother reminded me to feed and walk his dog because he is out of town this week. Innocently. Nora innocently replied no when I asked her if she'd broken the dish. Suggestion. The baseball team was angry at the suggestion that it had cheated. Depart. Our flight departs at 7 in the morning tomorrow, so we should go to sleep early. Robbery. The video of the robbery will help police identify the thief. Vow. She vowed to start saving money so that she can go abroad next year.
Okay, everyone. With that, today's article is now complete. But, as always, we sure hope that you guys have enjoyed reading along with us. Anyways, I'm Jeff.
I am Roger.
See you next time.